Hi, my name's Eric. I'm going to go over the use of a TENS unit. It's used to help decrease in pain, any kind of soreness or anything like that after injury. If you want to come in close, these are the controls. Basically, you have on the left side, you have pulse width, which is a unit of time. It's just a time that the electrical signal is being sent. On this side, you have pulse rate, which is the frequency of impulses per second, described by Hertz. If you have acute pain, as in you just got hurt recently, you're going to have a short pulse width and a long pulse rate. It's going to give you a buzzing sensation. If it's something that's been going on for longer than about 6 weeks or so, that's more chronic. And you'll go with a long pulse width and a short pulse rate to get more of a tapping sensation. If you're going with the acute pain, you're going to have about 80 microseconds here, and you're going to be at about 150 hertz. So that would look about like that. And if it's more of a long-term kind of thing, what you'll do is you'll bring the pulse width up anywhere from 120 to 150, and then the pulse rate will sit between 20 and 70. As long as you follow those general guidelines of long and short, you'll be able to dial it in and figure out what's best for you. Down here you have a timer set for 15 minutes on the left, 30 minutes in the middle, and on the far right is the letter C for continuous. We'd like you to use it in probably 15 to 20 minutes at a time, no longer than 45 minutes. Last control is going to be mode. The middle is normal, which is just continuous. The one on the left is B for burst, and that's just going to give you, it's going to send waves of the impulse. And on the far right, it's going to be modulated. And all modulated does is it's similar to normal where it's continuous, but it changes the intensity by about 30%. And what it does is it creates a kind of like a wave type effect. But for now, let's start off with normal. So let's say that we're in a more acute type pain. So we'll set it to 80 and 150 there, okay? And we'll close this. The TENS unit will come with 2 leads. You take one, you plug it in at the top here, it slips on in. The next one just comes in and slips in. You want to make sure you pay attention to which one's which. Okay. From here, to turn on a lead, you'd simply turn this dial, it'll click, you'll see a green light there, and then you just turn it up slowly, and that changes the intensity of the signal. So you have the width, the frequency, and the intensity. So we'll turn that off for now. These leads go to electrodes, which are wires that go into a carbon mesh with a gelatin sticky thing that helps conduct the electricity into the skin. Anytime that you use these, you want to make sure that one lead goes to the upper left and the lower right electrode. So it would look like this. And the other lead will go to the upper right and lower left electrode, like this. Okay. What that does is it makes the paths of the electrodes cross, and then in the middle, that's where you get the most therapeutic pain relieving effect. Okay. With that said, anytime that you have pain, you want the X of the electrodes to be where that pain location is. A good way to think about it is X marks the spot. So let's say right in here, where that zigzag is on the model, that's where you have the most pain. What you would do is you would place an electrode here and here, and that would be, let's say, lead 1, and you would place an electrode here and here, and that would be lead 2. If you draw an X between these, you'll see that they intersect at the area of discomfort. Okay? Whenever you put the electrodes on, you want to make sure you put it over soft tissue. You think of the muscles in your low back, the muscles in your gluteal region near your buttock. Those are going to be areas of a lot of soft tissue. You don't ever want to put them on areas of like a bony prominence or anything that's really hard, because that has low water content. You need the water to conduct the electricity. Also, safety, common sense things. Don't use it while you're showering. Don't use it while you're driving, because the pads can become dislodged, and then if the connection between the pads is compromised, it can result in some sort of electrical shock that might be uncomfortable. So you want to be careful with that. Anytime you use the pads, they're going to come on a plastic sheet this plastic sheet's going to be really important for preserving the life of the electrode. Anytime you take it off, you do not ever pull from the lead. You pull from the side. Take it off. Okay. And anytime you're done using it, you just, let's say you put it on the skin. Same thing to remove from the skin. You grab from the side, you peel it off, and you always place it sticky side down on the plastic sheet. That's going to help protect the moisture and make sure the adhesive conduction doesn't become compromised. Okay. Do not use while driving near water. 15-minute increments, 45 minutes max. You can use it with a hot pack or ice over top of it. I would recommend using it without anything first. That way you get used to the sensation. And anytime that you use these, they're very safe, but you also want to make sure that you are checking the skin underneath. Also, if you have any implanted electronic devices such as a nerve stimulator, a pacemaker, a defibrillator, any kind of thing like that, you do not want to use these at all. That's not safe. It could damage the device, and then it could compromise the benefit of that device. And if they're implanting something, it tends to be pretty serious. The intensity, when you turn these on, you always want to start right when the green light turns on. And once the green light's on, that means that these are going to the electrodes. You only turn these on when these pads are firmly on your skin. If this is on and you touch that pad that's connected, that's going to shock your finger. Don't do it. It's not very fun. Works better than coffee. But anytime you turn these on, you always want to turn them up very slowly, because you might go for a while and you don't feel anything, but then all of a sudden it can ramp up just with the slightest turn of the dial. So go very slow and turn on one. So you start here, you turn on one, turn up to where it needs to go. Once this is strong but comfortable, it should be a comfortable buzzing or tapping sensation. You come to this side, you turn on the light, and then you turn it up to where that's also strong and comfortable. This little safety latch flips on top, clips in. You can clip it on your belt. Like I said, make sure you don't use it while driving, but if you're sitting at a desk or anything like that, you should be good to use it. Any other questions? It comes with its instruction manual. It goes through just about everything I talked about. Talks about the machine in more detail, talks about what kind of battery it needs. It also talks about warranty, what to do if it malfunctions, and different specifics. So any questions, you can resort to this. It comes with also pads. Anytime you use the pads, you just want to make sure the pads are in good shape. Don't use them if the gel's coming off. You don't want to burn yourself. With that, any other questions, feel free to let us know, and enjoy.